Hello. Yes, it's Sunday night and I'm late, and welcome back to the live stream. This week, well, it's been a bit of a week, hasn't it? DJI stop sales of their drone products from their internal US store. This, though, isn't the only place that DJI products, with regards to especially flying products, I should add, are not available, because stock has pretty much vaporized everywhere. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about why is there no native US consumer drone industry, and what that actually applies to UK and others. And if I have any subscribers left by the time I finish that conversation, we will move on to talk about Hollybro and some other things that I've been doing this week as well. Now, it's been a busy week, especially Friday night, Saturday, and today, because there's some things I've been trying to get finished. I've also been testing these cameras, and I'm going to talk a little bit about these, and there is a proper video coming on these. Caddx, I had to reorder the version 2. There it is. That's the 2. I have the 2 now. I have the 1 and the 2 on a test rig that I've been using at the moment, the Enquiries. I've also tested the Gazer. And whilst this will be coming in the video, I have to say, what a camera. What a camera this is. Unbelievable camera this is. Honestly. This thing, unless you have absolute zero light and zero intention to fly in light, I don't really think you need the infras. The infras are if you have zero light. If there's any light, this thing, what a camera the Gazer is. Honestly, incredible. Absolutely incredible. That isn't to say these aren't incredible either, but the difference between them is not as much as you might think. And I do have a full video coming on these. I've been doing a lot of ground-based testing, and we will take a little bit of a look at some footage today as well. But yeah, really impressed with these. Learned a lot about these products now as well, and this AI box. And it is AI, but it isn't. So we're going to talk about that. We'll also talk about whatever comes up along the way as well. I can't remember what else I've put in the dock. I've already forgot. I've even lost my mouse pointer. What else did I put in the dock? I have lost what I actually wrote on my own live stream, which I pretty much do every single time, if I'm honest with you. View my channel. It's going to be easier for me to do it this way. Oh, I didn't actually put, and I just wrote what a mess. So we're going to talk about them as well. Orca HD. Is there something about Orca HD? I don't know. Is there? Have I missed something? Have I missed something? Have Orca said something? No. There we go. That answers that question. Have been flying the Orca quad today, though. I have to say, I was flying the Dream X. It's actually become my go-to analog quad for testing. It's a very, very good quad. But the only downside to me flying it is I'm not a big fan of their remote system. I have to go and use their dedicated remote. I keep forgetting to... I don't think I've got the Ghost module anymore. They had it back, so I can't put a Ghost module in my TX. I need to put Express ELRS on it. I'm not a big fan of the remote. I like the feel of the remote, but the stick, I'm not the greatest fan of the gimbals are a bit plastic. I'm used to CNC. That's the problem. So, yes, it's been a particularly interesting week this week. HDs no, these are the version 1s. These are the existing goggle. I don't know what anyone's asking about. The reason these are here, these are my bit angler goggles. I've been using these with these because that's how I've been recording on these, because these are great for recording. I use these on the Box Pros because of the DVR. Yeah, very interesting in time. So, obviously, the first thing we need to talk about is this. And this is DJI. Now, at the moment, we are on DJI UK store. So if I want to go and buy myself a DJI Air because it's a phenomenal drone, I can go on the website and I can click on it and it's available to order. Look, it's in stock. I can go on and think, you know what, I would love the new Mavic 4, the new Mavic 4 Pro, a phenomenal aircraft. I would love to be taking a look at this on the channel, and it's available to order, and I can get it as fast as the 1st of July. So look, lots of DJI products readily available. We can go and get ourselves a Flip, because the Flip is one of DJI's latest drones. Looking good, all available, and the very basics are everything is available from DJI. If we actually search for DJI Goggles 3, did that not search properly? DJI Goggles 3. Here we go. We can go on to there. Available to order. Estimated 1st of July. We can go and look at the DJI O4 air units, and everything is normal. All good, happy days. However, this week, DJI removed stock of pretty much every flying-related product off their website. And it is basically everything. So the O4 Pro is out of stock. If we go on to camera drones, we can go to the Mavic. Now, obviously, you can't order the Mavic 4 because it was not launched in the US. You're not going to be able to get that one in the US anyway. But it's even hard to go and select DJI drones now because they've made it painful. But everything in the US is out of stock. With regards to flying products, we can go to the Flip. It's not available. Out of stock. And this stands for anything that flies. The very basics are any flying DJI products are unavailable to purchase, including DJI O4. So we can go on the O4 Pro air unit. They're fairly consistent that there is just no stock anywhere. Now, this change happened earlier this week. DJI have not made any statement with regards to this, but further to this, it is spread to everywhere because regardless of where you go, there is no stock of DJI air units, goggles, drones, pretty much anywhere. It doesn't matter where you go, it is not available. Someone says, but you could need the air unit for ground vehicles. Yeah, well, they're not selling it to you. Now, as for the why, the truth is we do not know for sure. I have been talking to a lot of people this week. My phone has been ringing in and I've been dialing out. And the truth is there's more than one thing at play here. There's a fairly strong belief this is as a result of the tariff stop a few months ago, because the first thing to remember is when those tariffs were being moved around and changed, everything pretty much stopped. And when you stop, it takes time for that to recover. But that wouldn't hit instantly because everything is on a slow boat, literally from China. So the effect of that hits now. On top of that, though, words were put to me that due to the hostile operating environment of the US at the moment with regards to their products moving through customs, DJI has had to pull shipping from their store for anything that they don't have in stock in the US. Now, this isn't believed to be permanent. This isn't believed to be forever. I was already told there's progress to get some stock through by mid-July, August time. What that stock is, we don't know. But the reality is right now, DJI is basically not selling drones in the US. Retailers are not getting replenishments. And there is an exodus of DJI products in the US for the short term. Now, there is still some stock in the US of some products that you can buy on the store. It's limited. It's mostly power stations and Ronin gimbals and stuff like that. But the situation is the same. It is going to be affected. Now, this largely affects the US only. UK and Europe are not affected. Canada is not affected. As for some other countries, someone said, what about Mexico? I don't look. The truth is, this is a US specific problem at the moment. And it is unprecedented, unheard of. And what's even crazier about this is that we don't have any official information from DJI. They've not even made a statement about this. And it's crazy. And it is crazy. So, right now, we're going to have to wait and see what happens. Because the truth is, nobody knows. Do I believe DJI is going to want to not sell in the US? No. My understanding is it's about 20% of their market is the US. There is also the possibility this isn't just about the US. This is also about the export of drone technology out of China, because that is something that has also been a problem. And the Chinese government have for months had restrictions on what products can be exported. This happened 3, 4, 5 months ago. I think this is a bit of a game of tit for tat, if I'm honest, but it is completely unprecedented to see DJI pull pretty much everything off their store. It is unforeseen times. Now, as for who this benefits, well, HD0 should absolutely benefit from this. HD0 is a US company with Chinese ties, but manufacturing and things like that, but it is a US registered company, is HD0. Caddx will inevitably benefit. However, they could come under the effect of this if it is related to export of products from China, and they could easily come under the effect of this very, very quickly. The truth is right now, for US customers, you're going to have to try and get it in any way you can, but be careful. There are real reports of people who have bought products, had them shipped via different countries, or even just a DJI product being returned from warranty repair, getting held in customs. And that is the problem. So it's hard for me to say what you can do in the US. At the moment, there is just no choice. I think we've got to wait and see how long this lasts. What is clear is that it is completely unprecedented, and we have never seen anything like this in the past. The very fact that DJI didn't launch the Mavic 4 in the US in itself is insane. Add this on top means it's crazy. Someone said it's till August. I've already said it's till mid-July stroke August. I said that earlier in the week. I think I was one of the first to say it. I had been given that information Monday. I didn't rush a video out on this subject because I wanted to talk to people more. There were some people I couldn't talk to till the end of the week. So I didn't want to do a video and rush one out until I had all of the information I've been given. Yeah, it's looking like August at the moment should be some stock. But look, this is going to take some recovery. Because everyone is out. The problem now is everyone will run out. This will take 6 months to recover at this point. It is already going to take 6 months to recover. Chances are, and this is what I would bet DJI do, if they can supply the DJI store, they will ship from the store first to retain all of the margin. Otherwise, it's going to take a while. It's going to take a while. Now, as for alternatives, there basically aren't any. Your alternatives today are, if you want to replace your DJI 04 with something, there isn't an equivalent. Let's not pretend there is, there isn't. If you want to change to Avatar, it's a risk because Avatar could fall under the same problems tomorrow, being a China-based company, much minuscule in comparison to DJI. If you wanted from a digital FPV perspective, the safest thing is to sit tight. That's the truth. The safest thing is to just wait. This will not last forever. It's going to be interesting to see what effect it has on the consumer drone side, because that's been a big bubble for a long time and it's going to take some time to recover. I predict analog will see a surge. Potentially, yeah. I guess, look, there are still products available. So if we go to the desktop, there are 04 bind and fly drones available to buy right now. And there are even new 04 bind and fly drones ready to buy. So from a drone perspective, the products exist. If we look on Get FPV, and if we have a look on Race Day Quads, so if we go to DJI HD System Components, everything's out of stock. You can get a naked 03. You can get a naked 03 Ultra ear unit for some crazy price. There's no 04s. You can get a Caddx Pro Nano Vista kit. That's in stock. But there are bind and fly quads available. So things aren't going to just totally stop. But you can't buy goggles. Goggles is a real problem. And that is the big issue. So, look, from a DJI FPV perspective, 04 perspective, you're going to have to wait. I wouldn't rush by when it all comes back. I suspect it'll come back quite quickly. DJI just cancelled my order from 2 months ago for goggles. Yeah, exactly. This will take 6+ months to recover. It's going to be interesting. Now, this very nicely leads me on to what this means for the US and Europe, potentially, for a homegrown consumer drone industry. Now, I'm going to proviso what I'm about to say with some caveats. Anything I'm about to say is non-political. Nothing I have any interest in politics. Anything I'm about to say is opinion and opinion only, based on years of being involved in the industry, years of talking to people, years of being told things by people I can't always say. And the truth is this. The chances are there will never be a US consumer drone industry because nobody wants you, the consumer, to have these drones in the first place. Every time there has been an attempt to make the US consumer drone industry, it has either got shut down or moved into industrial, enterprise, governmental. The simple truth is this. There is nothing in a DJI drone that can't be made anywhere in the world. They are pretty much a bunch of ARM cores, Linux, some real-time OS. Even OcuSync could be done on smartphone chipsets in the US. The reason why none of this has happened is it's multifold. But number one, why sell a drone for $1,000 to a consumer when you can sell it for $10,000 to a government agency for the same product? If you sell both, you're ripping them off. But if you just make a drone and then sell it to the government, you can charge $10,000 for it. So number one, there is always this bait of why do this when we can do that. Number two, every time it can be done, someone finds a way of closing it down. Some government agency, some push. 3D Robotics, Skydio were pushed into enterprise. It is no coincidence that every time a proper consumer drone company starts up in the US, it is pushed, moved, pushed down into enterprise or non-existent. And the truth is, no one wants you to have these products. The only reason you have these products is because DJI and China have made them available. There's a reason why pretty much every drone company outside of DJI is trying to make big commercial, militaristic, industrial drones. Because no one wants to be the company to sell consumer drones. No one wants to do it. It's easy. It can be done. Just no one wants to do it. And that's the problem. And that's why it will never happen. For starters, a US drone company would not be able to survive based on volume because of ITAR and the inability to export much of the technology because, again, it's going to be restricted by all of the corporate BS, all of the patents, all of the noise around that. Secondly, even if you could get the chipset for a smartphone chipset from Qualcomm, they will never give anyone the low-level access to do it. OcuSync is an SDR. The chipset isn't magical. We know this. The software will take a bit of time to get there. Someone could make OcuSync tomorrow. The hardware is here. Yes, the software might take a bit of time, but again, Qualcomm, the IP holders, will not allow anyone the access needed to do it. And the fundamental is corporate greed will prevent a homegrown consumer drone industry starting because fundamentally, why sell them for $1,000 when I can sell them for $10,000? Even the price and the manufacturing, that's a hurdle. And I've skipped that section a minute because before you even do that, you'd have to basically build Shenzhen in the US, where you have all of the companies round that are going to pollute all of your rivers, that are going to do all of that. But ignoring that a minute, I'm not even talking about the almost impossible logistics of actually building it. It still won't exist because A, no one wants you to own these products, B, no one wants to give up the IP, and C, they'd rather sell them to 10 times the cost to the government, military, and agency. There is one thing China has consistently done better than anyone else. That is putting more technology in the lower cost hands than anyone else. And this is across the board. It isn't just about labour. If you look at DJI, every product gives you, every new release gives you more for more for around the same money or a little bit more. But DJI have always released Halo product, then 6 months later, low-end product with 85% of the features of the Halo product. Every time DJI in China, they always push to put their products in as many hands as possible. They choose volume every time over high value, low production. Every single time. The West is the opposite. We will choose high-end, low volume over mass production every time. And again, this is the problem. It's a fundamental difference. And this is why it won't happen. So, as for will there be a replacement for DJI? The answer is no. Because, hey, no one wants to do it. Anyone who can do it won't give you the IP. And anyway, the government don't want it to happen anyways. So every time they try to do it, someone will step in and cause a problem. And that's the main issue. And, oh, by the way, if you don't stop, we'll give you an alternative, which is go and sell it to everyone for 10 grand. But if you don't stop, we'll shut you down. So, and that's why. There will not... This isn't about China stop the US. China have stopped no one. Everyone else chose not to do it. And that's why we're at where we're at today. There is nothing stopping this. The O4 air unit is... It's insane how no one is doing it. And it's the same with 3D printers. It is the same with CNC machines. It is the same with anything. Absolutely anything. It's not just about drones. China produces more cheap 3D printers. It's about high volume, low cost. That's their fundamental model. And that is what's got them to where they are. Because look, you know, do I think US-based industrial drones for the government use is a good thing? Of course I do. It's a freaking no-brainer. There are companies doing it. There is almost no good reason for anyone to be using DJI for government use. There are products, but they don't have the same capabilities, but they exist. For consumers, there aren't any new consumer-based drones. No, look, outside of FPV, and here's probably where the interesting thing is, you know, look, Red Cat are looking to bring and put motor production into the US. For those who haven't seen, Red Cat have announced that they're setting up motor production under Unusual Machines. Whilst I pain myself to do this, Red Cat Holdings, let me just find the news. They are setting up motor production in the US. I did laugh at the statement because it said they've bought a factory. You can relabel that to an empty warehouse, but let me just find the... Quite amusing, some of these headlines, right? This is class. So, Unusual Machines secures Red Cat as drone motor customer. Well, they're technically the same company. Absolute madness. Unusual Machines put out a statement I know they sold them, but come on, we all know. So, Unusual Machines, this is quite funny, right? Unusual Machines leases a 17,000 square foot drone motor plant. Right? Right, ready? Just wait for this. So, Unusual Machines enters into an agreement to acquire Rotor Lab to accelerate motor production. Now, we need to wait for the photo on this. So this is in Australia, but they also got this warehouse, right? Here we go. Leases drone motor factory. Now, have they got the picture on here? No, they've just got a picture of a motor that says Unusual Machines. Now, there was a picture posted online of them showing an empty warehouse, but I can't remember where I saw it. It must be... Where did I see it? It's funny, right? It's highly amusing. Must have been Facebook, because I wouldn't have seen it on... Let me see if I can find it. Because it was very funny. Ah, I found it. Here we go. So, right. So, here we go. So, here we are. So, you've got Unusual Machines leases 17,000 square foot drone motor plant near Orlando. Ready? All of this news. There you go. So, that's the motor plant. They've rented a warehouse, is what they've done. Now, don't get me wrong. I praise them for doing it. But come on. There you go. So, all of this. Drone motor factory. Unusual Machines building a 50,000 motor capacity drone factory in Orlando. Okay, that's pretty good because that tells you what they're doing. Oh, but honest to God, yes, look, okay. They've got a warehouse. It won't be long until this space is empty. So look, it's a good thing. There will be FPV motors that you can buy from a company that I think is doing harm to FPV in many, many different ways, but I've said my bit on that. I'm not going there. I'm not going there. Basically, a bunch of people sold their souls to the devil for money. But hey-ho. But look, you're going to have Red Cat. You're going to have this. First step is warehouse. Look, I think... I don't like what Red Cat did. I don't like remotely the way Red Cat, Unusual Machines, and Rotor Riot did it. Am I fair in right now treating them any differently to what the reality is? Speedy B and probably every other manufacturer in FPV is quietly doing. Probably not. And the truth is, they said the quiet bit out loud. And that's the truth of it. And they said it in such a... They said it to get money. The truth is, what Rotor Riot, Red Cat, and Unusual Machines did was shout and scream it because they want the coin. They're pumping the stock. They're trying to get the investment. And the only way you can do that is to shout it loud and proud. What they did was shout what everybody else is not talking about, but the reality is now, today, probably doing. So whilst I don't like it, and I still have a fundamental issue with what Red Cat, Rotor Riot, Unusual Machines did, I also have to praise them for the fact that they are building a US-based motor factory. You know, I don't know how long I can keep calling them a bunch of cunts. The truth is, because things have evolved. But I still fundamentally don't agree with their very militaristic behavior. But are they the only ones? Now, not really. Where I think they took a step beyond anyone, and I will say this categorically, is they used the word strike capable. And no one else has used that wording. That's the quiet bit no one said out loud. And they said it out loud. And that is the sad element of this all, that they said strike capable. And promoting the use of drones to kill people is just not what any of us want. So, the US is in a bit of a mess. There ain't no homegrown. It ain't coming soon. There ain't no amount of banning DJI is going to change that. And let's hope it all gets sorted out in the near future, because it is a right mess. And it's crazy. Unprecedented, crazy times. So, I wish I could give you guys more info on where to buy stuff, because I just don't know where you can. And that's the truth. All the Europeans are going, I'm all right, Jack. But, yeah. If you want to import from the UK, I'm guessing UK-based stores will ship. I don't know for sure, but there's some good stores in the UK. I guess, who's the biggest drone retailer in Canada? I don't know who is the biggest drone parts company in Canada. Probably Rotor Village. Or Mexico. Most of it's out of stock. CNC Madness, Rotor Village. Let's just have a look. O40 unit. O40 units in stock, $159. Canada will not ship to the US. What's the biggest drone company in Mexico? AliExpress might be your friend. It's just getting it through customs. I tell you what I'm surprised at. What's going on AliExpress? Yes, I know about the, you know, it is a risk trying to do it. Okay, so $199. If we want to ship to United States, please save. No. United States. Save. Ooh! Oh! Why is that doing that? It won't let me change it to the States. Oh, it has now. I've signed out. 282 from them. Let's have a look. Ouch. It's always a risk. Ho, 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 ho. If Caddx had something in the bag, now would be the time to release it. That's for sure. Oh, ho. Ho, 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 ho. Wow. Pricing is shifting, ladies and gentlemen. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. $322. That is rough. We all knew that it was going to happen. It happened. Amazing. Stan, you're right. Wow. Sorry, guys. I don't have answers for you. It's shite. Give it a week. Yeah, look, things might level up quicker than we hope. That's for sure. Let's see. It'll go one of two ways. For the first time, it's easier for me to get drone stuff in a third world country than it is the US. Yeah, that says everything in it. Yeah. It's a hard one. Is it time to open up the Mads Tech US drone store, perhaps, and sell you some air units? I can do you a deal. DJI better come way down in price. Well, it's not going to come down lower than the existing US price at $220. Mads Tech FPV pipeline. Crash Dude must made a good point. Starting to... Let's see. If anyone's watched the Gamers Nexus videos, they were talking on there, and there's a new one on his channel about importing and exporting, and it's not much better. Some stuff is moving, but they made it clear that it's not fixed. It's really not solved yet, which is crazy. So, right, moving on to Caddx. Well, there isn't a lot to say about Caddx. They haven't released any new products yet. However, I have been testing these. Now, I've got in the Infravision 2. I have tested the Vision 2 up against the Vision 1, and they are very, very similar. There isn't a lot between the Vision 2 and 1. I will say I think the Vision 2 is a little bit clearer, less noise. It is using a different chipset. So the chipset in the Vision 1 is an Artisan chipset, and the chipset in the Vision 2 is I can't remember the name of the company. Axera. Sorry. So the chipset in the version 2 is Axera. In fact, the module used in the version 2, the Gazer, is the same. It's identical modules, identical chipsets in these. They're all using the Axera chipset now, which is the AI enhancing chipset. Quite interesting products. If I just show you something, I have to say, I am blown away by the Gazer. I'm going to show you guys a bit of video. I am absolutely blown away by the Gazer. I really am. Now, just to give you an idea on this, it's not pitch black at this point, right? It's not complete darkness, but it's certainly dark enough that you can see a person, but you wouldn't be able to do anything. Here you'll just see me looking around in the bushes just to see the light through the bushes, and I'll show you some stuff in a minute. This was a walk test. This is the Gazer. Now, to give you an idea, it was very dark. Very dark indeed. Not black, but yes, this is the cheaper one. This is the 64 quid one. I am really impressed with how the Gazer works. To give you an idea, I haven't got the footage here of how dark it was. You can see here just footage. I think I walk out, actually. Let's have a look. We'll see it now. See the... You wouldn't have... It is crazy that you can still actually make out the stuff on my t-shirt here, because in real world, you couldn't see this. You couldn't see this at all. I am incredibly... This is analog. All of these cameras are analog. I was incredibly impressed with the Gazer. What's quite weird with the Gazer is when you are testing it, and I'll show you this. This is what... Now, this was a bit lighter, okay? But this is what happens when you take the filter off. It goes from that to that when you take the filter off in light, because you're removing the IR cut. But it does kick in the dark. Now, just to give you an idea of what it's like in total darkness, right? In these trees, you can see through them to a little bit of light in the sky. But in this woodland is complete darkness, okay? In front of this, I couldn't see my hand here, just to give you an idea, right? And I'll also show you it in a minute with the lens off to show you the difference it makes. This is basically black. I know it doesn't look it, but trust me, it is basically complete and utter black. Now, this is with the filter on, and then we will move to do the same thing. Now, there is with the filter off, so you can now see the same thing with the filter removed. Everything has a bit of a purple gaze to it now, but you can now see the leaves, which you couldn't see before, the branches, and then I'll show you on the other one right now. Now, this looks like it's daylight. Honestly, it's black. There's a little light over there which helps. That's like Sony ISO 3. I know. It's pretty good. Now, just to show you what that looked like on the Infra 2, because at the same time, So this is the same bit of woodland recorded at the same time on the Infra 2. So this just gives you an idea what it looks like again with the Infra version 2. So you can see more with the Infra. The Infra is definitely better. You can see a lot more in it. But the payoff is crazy. These cameras are phenomenal. I was recording 2 at the same time, so it's quite hard. See, that's there, me removing the filter on the Gazer. These are incredibly impressive. Incredibly impressive cameras. Just look at that there. This isn't, you know, this isn't proper thermal. Great bits of kit. Latency's been okay so far. I need to do the full darkness latency testing. Caddx have the spec at 20 milliseconds. And that was me then putting the filter back on. Yeah, you could absolutely add an IR light to these. Yes, the field of view is wider on the version 2. Correct. It's increased from 120 degrees to 132. It looks like the Infra 2 has got the same lens as the Gazer. So that was that. Now, just to show you something on this, this was me just walking with the cameras across the field. Now, no, not that far, sorry, with it. This was me just walking with the cameras across the field. Now, this was almost pitch black, okay? But the bit I want to show you in a minute is over here. So as I walk through this gap here, where I'm going to point to was total darkness. There was no light in there at all. Let me just get there. So what you can see there in that area, that's black. There's no light there at all. There's a bit of light off that building over there. But this area behind these bushes is black. Honestly, these cameras are phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Just crazy. That's like black in there. Latency seems fine. I've got more testing to do, but it doesn't seem crazy. Now, I also recorded the same walk on the version 1. This is the version 1. I'll just put it there. This is the IR version 1. I actually recorded both. So you got the version 1 and the version 2 at the same time. I have 2 sets of goggles on different channels I'm recording at the same time. So this is the version 1. The version 1 looks a little bit softer, not as sharp compared to the version 2. When you look at it, it lacks a little bit of detail, but not a lot in it. Not a huge amount in it. I think the version 2 looks better. Very similar capabilities, though. But I think the version 2 is better, in my opinion. So that's the version 1. And I'll just go back to the version 2. the same place. There you go. So from there you go. Has it got any magnification? Not the IRs. The Gazer has 3 times digital zoom. Not tried it yet. They're both very impressive. This one has a slightly loose connection because I remember I'm transmitting on 2 VTXs at the same time here. But I think the version 2 is slightly better. Really incredible though. These are like 120 quid cameras. 120 quid camera. You can have a night capable 120 quid camera. Insane. I honestly don't think anyone needs... yeah, DJX. Yes, they did. I don't think anyone needs thermal at this, right? I don't think you... Unless you're looking for people from a flying perspective... I don't think you need thermal. Obviously, they are IR sensitive, so if you mounted IR LEDs on your drone, it's going to be even better. If you had an IR LED there to light illuminate, an IR illuminator, thermal is great for heat. If you're looking for someone or you're looking for something specific. But I have to say, Caddx have done an incredible job with these cameras. Genuinely. The only thing I can't get my head around, why are these not available for Avatar HD? Although I wonder how they would look at 720p. Interesting. Very, very interesting indeed. So, as for Caddx, is there anything else I can add? No, not really. There is a story this week, and I'm going to mention it. This was posted by a user on my Discord. I am able to verify it in the sense of I have seen the images and I've received the email directly from them. I have checked it, and as far as I can tell, it is legitimate. However, I will say that it is alleged that Caddx sent out emails to Amazon purchasers offering them a full refund in exchange for a 5-star rating. They sent it out to one or more, apparently they sent it out to one or more people who had purchased from Caddx in the past, offering them the ability to buy the Avatar HD goggles and other parts of the system, and stating that if they gave a 5-star rating, they would refund them via PayPal. Now, this has been posted on my Discord, not by me. It was posted by someone else. I've seen the email. The images are there. Does it shock me? No. It is my opinion that Caddx are a untrustworthy company. And it's my opinion that their behaviour is right up the street for this, that their marketing teams and management are more than happy to play dirty games to improve the company, including making direct threats towards me on this channel and indirect threats and gaslighting and a number of other things. Are they any more of a shittier company than the likes of Nvidia? No, that's the truth. Am I surprised? Not remotely. Is it something I think they would do? Possibly. Could the email be fake? Possibly. Although the evidence I've seen suggests it is real. However, it is allegedly. Are they the only ones to pull these kind of stunts? No. What's more to say? I would call it out if it was DJI or anyone else, so I'm calling it out here. Caddx remain a company that has a lot to learn and appears to have a marketing department that loves to do scummy practices. There should be a Discord invitation here on this video at the thing. It's pretty much standard. Yeah, look, it is. And it's not standard in FPV, so that's what I would say. I can tell you now, DJI would never do that. I can tell you now, you know, offering a full refund for a positive review is unacceptable. But that came up this week. But hey, it's Caddx. Are we surprised? Unethical, the correct word. Pretty much everything about how they operate. That's pretty much it on Caddx. Didn't DJI that when they were still a copycat company? I'm not aware of DJI ever offering a full refund for positive reviews. Have DJI done some scummy stuff? Yes. The worst one I had seen from DJI was years ago. They offered additional DJI credit for positive engagement. Wasn't a requirement, I will add. It wasn't a strictly enforced requirement. But I have openly said when the DJI FPV drone released, as part of the review agreement, there were tiers of benefits. And it promoted more return for better engagement. But they only did that once, and I refused to sign that one. But they've never... There is a bit of a different sort of out-and-out saying, hey, if you give us a positive review, we'll give you your money back. I tell you something I have noticed this week on Caddx. They are advertising like hell on Facebook. I don't know if anyone else has noticed it. They are advertising a lot on social media. The flux of influencers glazing the products until the cracks start to show. Someone just said the possibility of getting a free refund will probably drive some sales by itself. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's like it's just a shame. The annoyance is, here's what I find really frustrating. Caddx don't have to do this. They don't have to pull this shit. Just reading down on the chat, catching back up. As ENF said, unethical. Yeah, no one is questioning some of the Caddx products are good. It's just the same, some of this shit has to happen. Right. Hollybro. Now, this is a bit of a complicated one. Hollybro have put a message out. Hollybro have put out a message. Sorry. Right, I was reading the chat. Hollybro has put out a message to say they are no longer shipping outside of... I'm not sure if it's Hong Kong or China. Now, this has also raised a lot of eyebrows. Hollybro are a great company. Been around a long time. I have had a very small relationship with Hollybro. Not as much as I would like. But they are... Hollybro, whichever way you want to pronounce it. They're a company who makes some actually really good products. But they have put all shipments are currently delayed due to unforeseen circumstances. They will be operating as new as soon as they can. Thanks for your understanding. I just want to say I really hope they get themselves sorted. They are a good company that do good products. I don't know what this is related to, honestly. I'm a little bit concerned, if I'm honest. And I'm a little bit concerned based on some of the rumours that I've heard. I really hope they get this sorted. And I am genuinely a little bit worried. They really do, though, make some nice bits of kit. And that PX4 drone I did was really, really good. So from me, I hope they're all okay. Hopefully they get this sorted. They're a brand that sort of has always been quietly there doing stuff. They've made a lot of great flight controllers for FPV as well. They really have. I really do hope they get everything sorted quickly, though. I really do. There's not a lot more I can say other than that right now. Crazy times. Crazy, crazy times. Remember what I said about exporting stuff out of China? There's a lot of rumours and whispers of stuff going on in China at the moment, and people vanishing and people going into places with bars on the doors, and it's not good. Is the Caddx GoFilm 20 a good to buy? Yes, the GoFilm 20 is actually a really good drone. About the only problem with the GoFilm 20, and let me grab mine, because I actually really like the GoFilm 20. I genuinely do. Now, where is mine? It's in its box. The question is, where's the box? Nope, that's the Beta FPV one. My GoFilm 20 is usually not far away because it's a really good little quad. Is it up there? Let's have a look. No, it's not there. Where is my GoFilm 20 gone? Is that it there? No, that's a fly lens. I'm a bit worried now, it's vanished. Anyway, the biggest problem with the GoFilm 20 is this. And that is the frame. I cracked the frame on mine. I cracked the duct on mine, so I ordered in new duct. I have a new duct for my GoFilm. You will need spare ducts for this quad. It will break. I ordered 2, in fact. Now, I just don't know where it is. One moment, please. I can find every other drone except my GoFilm 20. Oh, wait a minute. Is that it? Ha ha! Found it. I was looking for it. I found the Flylens 75. Never even opened that. There's 2 batteries in there. Flylens 75. Two lipos there. Didn't know they were in there. Hate it. Flywoo have a habit of doing that. They put batteries in with their quads when they send them to you to review. And they don't always warn you they've put batteries in with their quads. Wish I'd have known those two were there. They're perfect for flying the new HD0 quad. But no, look, the biggest issue on the GoFilm, and this is a great quad. I really do like the GoFilm 20. I hadn't actually opened that box properly, so yeah, I didn't know they'd put them in there. The ducts break, so I broke this duct here. I have tried gluing it, so it is a little bit weak on the duct. That's about the only complaint. But it is a great little aircraft, I have to say. I do like the 20. I think it's probably one of the better drones Caddx's have done. But you definitely want to get a frame for it. It will break. So I bought 2 spares. New HD0 quad. That was the 8 from the one I reviewed a few days ago. My brain is completely gone. What's it called? Happy model. The M8 HD. Yeah, I did try gluing it with the IO 15. Yeah, it just needs a little bit. But look, this is actually a really good little quad. It is actually a very, very good little quad. It's not particularly strong, though. What I will say is that the flywoos are better from a duct perspective, in my experience. The flywoos tend to be a bit more resilient in that respect. This plastic is... It will shatter. It will break. The flywoo is slightly better in that regard. I've not broke any of the flywoo ducts. They're made of like that clear plasticky, and they tend to buckle a bit better. The Pavo series, sponsored by Caddx, yeah. The Pavo series, do you know what? Beta FPV have done some really great things in recent times. And I've got a Pavo here. Which one's this? Which was this? This is... Is this in here or not? No. Or maybe. No, that's... This was the Pavo... What was this one? Let me just check which this was. Pavo Pico. I've had so many issues with beta FPV little quads. I'm almost at the stage of just saying, don't. Beta FPV is always... They make it hard at times. It is better. Yes, their QC is definitely better. So you got this Pavo 20 here. Let's have a look. God, that's big. Why is that so big? Here we go. So you got the Pavo 20 Pro. That looks like a bit of a tank. Fair play. That looks quite the tank. That front end, wow. That duct looks pretty good. Different colours. They all want colours now, don't they? Okay. I'm intrigued by that. That looks quite cool. That looks quite solid. 12 times without fail. What's the Pavo 20 Pocket like? So, the Pocket is designed as a lightweight HD flyer. So you got the Pavo 20 Pocket. So same motors, but a customized. So why the customized version on the Pocket? Independent R&D flight controller. Well, what the fuck's that mean? Stable hover. Oh, this thing has all sorts on it. Okay. Optical flow meter and barometer. Is there a picture underneath? Is that the optical flow? Let's have a look down. What are they? Yeah, so it's got optical flow. So what's that running? Beta flight? They're saying 03, but you could put 04 in that. I don't know. Because they're showing it here flying over the top of something, look. Or through something. Normal mode, sport mode, turtle mode. Weird. Okay. I have to say, the Pro looks a nice quad. What's on the ESC? See, this worries me. Look. Please refer to the Pavo Pico DJI 03 vibration problem. They're already talking about it. It does look nice. Blue Jay. Okay. Good. Got it for $80 with a coupon. That's pretty good going. What's the price on that? I might have to get one of them in. Is it coming with... Is that coming... Yeah, that comes with 04. 04 plug and play. 104 quid. It's all right. The Pro have no jello. The Pico has a little. Yeah. I always struggled with the Pico. The Pico always had jello. I've got the Pavo Pico here. Is it 4S? No, I suspect it's 2. Is what I suspect. 3S. 3S, okay. Probably fly on 2. I've just always... 04 is actually a little bit smaller, technically. But yeah, it'll fit in AVI. You could fit a Pro in where it says 03. So where it says 03, you can put an 04 Pro in. Absolutely fine. Apart from the camera mount, obviously, because it's got the 2 holes instead of the 1. The only difference is the camera mount. Right, I'm just going to turn my aircon on in here because it's getting really warm. 1 second. I'm trying to point my remote. Come on. The bin's in the way. There. I got something in front of it, I have. Right, I don't know if you'll hear a little bit of noise, so I'll apologise now because of the aircon. Okay, so Avion RC's Nexus 3.5, never heard of it. Let's have a look at it. Shall we? Never heard of it. So are you talking Nexus 3. Which one is it? Nexus 3.5, that one. Yeah, I've got a Wi-Fi IR bastard and I've lost it. It's over there somewhere. Let's have a look, shall we? Nice to see it's not renders. Can't really see much on the sides. It looks okay. Nothing special. Looks like a 3-inch quad. Cheap flight controller. Too much money. You'll get better for that. iFlight equivalent would be better for that. Needs bigger motors. Yeah, look, I just... Looks okay. It's a lot of money. 489. What size are the motors on this? T motors, mind. Okay, so they're not a bad motor. Yeah, 1604 is a little small. Still expensive for what it is. Oasis Fly 30, not heard of that one either. There's loads of quads. I don't keep up with all of the releases. There are so many quads. Aluminium front cage, quite nice to see. Looks like a 3... How big is that? Is that 3-inch? Yeah. I was going to say it looks like a 3-inch. Oh, bugger off. Looks alright. again, what you're asking for in a 3-inch, what's the thickness of the arms? Yeah. I need to see the arm mounts. Any view underneath? No, I can't see where the arms go in. Got to be careful with this type of front end. See, any damage... That looks pretty solid, but the issue is, depending on how this is designed, right? If there's only a single screw there, and this doesn't go all the way down, you see, because there's a gap. So what you have is this top plate into here, and then this mounted on the bottom. But this becomes a cantilever. So any force on this will force that whole tray backwards. That was the problem the Mario had. You got standoffs here and here, but with enough force there, it's going to go in. I think the arms are sandwiched, so that's pretty good. The problem with a lot of these quads is this. All of these types of quads are great until you need an arm. So here's my question. Do they sell the parts? Because if they don't buy it. And will they sell the arms for the next 6 months? 12 months? If... So, I don't want frames. No, so there's no parts there. I can see. One thing I will say about Ross's frames, and this is one good thing to say, is that you will always get parts. It is something that I do like about the fact with the AOS series. What's his 3-inch? What's the AOS 3? AOS 3.5 Evo. The good thing is you'll get parts for these. I thought there was a new AOS. Latest products. I wasn't sure about this. I not got to see this thing of Chris's. Not sure about that. But anyways. So, that's where we are at on that. Right. Question time. Really, from a discussion points perspective, that is pretty much it for tonight. It's all shit. You can't buy anything. It's not going to get better anytime soon. And external factors are screwing up everything. Sorry. I wish I had better news. We're under attack, guys. We're under attack, and most people don't even know it. It will all come back. Yeah. You know, that's the truth of it. As for everything else, it is quiet. Bad enough, there'll be room for things to get better. That's the great news about it being really bad. I remember in 2019 where we said it couldn't get worse. Yeah. Goggles supply is the one that's worrying me on DJI side. Look, I don't care if DJI don't sell another product again. It doesn't affect me. You know, look, DJI could never sell another FPV product again, and it would... My life continues. It doesn't mean anything. My channel is not based on DJI. We talk about them a lot, but we also talk about Caddx, HD0, and everyone else. It is what it is at the end of the day. It is what it is. I was flying analog today, and I flew analog yesterday. I've been flying analog for a few days, testing thermal cameras, but also I use the Orca Dream X as my analog test quad. It's a very, very good analog test quad because I was testing some analog related things. It is shocking how bad analog is. It's absolutely fine in front of you, but even going behind some trees. Just to give you guys an idea of what I mean. Let me just... Right, I'm on that screen there a minute. That's fine. Let me just find something to show you. Let me just find... No, it's not that. It's not what I'm looking for. So, let me just check this is the right video. This is some specific analog testing from today. Okay. Actually, yeah. No, that's not the one I want. 1 second. 1 moment. Please hold. It's important I get this right. No, it's the wrong one. Yes, here we go. Okay. So this was some testing on an analog quad today. This was actually filmed today. And I just want to show you something. I always go up high out of this field. Now I want to show you me coming over the top of something. So, just see now. I am just behind these trees. Right? I am literally just behind these trees. I'm there. This actually goes in. Right? So let me come around. I'm there. Right in that area there. Boom. The second I'm behind just this mass of trees, right? You're already dealing with this. It's all over already at this point. Look at this. Ready? And boom. I'm literally over my head at this point, and it comes back. And it's fine. This was just a quick couple of tests on something to see what it was doing. But as you see here, now let me come back here so you'll see where I am. So I am literally there. You should see me any second. There I am. I am in that tree there. There I am, standing here. And look, already, I'm here at this point. There I am, look. As soon as I come to here, It's already going. So, as much as I would love to say, technically directly above me would have been the null points. Directly above me would have, but not over here. I'm side on over here. Everyone sees the DJI quad in the background. I don't know what you mean. So this is the Dream X. So look, it's fine, and then boom. That's a bush. I'm behind a bush. I can't even tell you how much RF power this was. It's a bush with wet leaves, I will add, because it was wet as hell, because it'd been raining this morning. Yes, 25 milliwatt. $25 milliwatt is 30 dBm, right? Yeah. That's what 25 milliwatt, isn't it? It's 30 dBm, 25 milliwatt. Yeah, sounds about right to me. Yeah, no, this wasn't patches. This is an Omni. This wasn't patches. This was Omni. And right now, I am... This is an Omni antenna. Side on. Side on. I'm in the lobe. I am perfect right now, apart from the bushes. And this is the same on 2 sets of goggles. Because let me show you video number 2. This video is the same. This is on the SkyZone 04Xs with diversity dual antennas. 04Xs, diversity dual antennas. Yeah, the antenna will be at the back, yeah. But just to show with analog, just what you're putting up with. It was actually worse on the 04Xs. Bush made of lead. This was a couple of quick tests. Yeah, you're right. Or a copper tree. See, look, I'm there. I had to get some height because I didn't trust the bushes. I was like, way. Digital spoils you, is what digital does. So I didn't get on with the remote. I was just... So now, right, bearing in mind, this is all the same. The only difference coming around here, we're coming around, wet bush. I'm about to get hit by a wet bush. Ready, wet bush. You can even see it. Look at that. Just there. And here I am. I'm there. Clean, wet bush. Shocking. Absolutely shocking. you forget how bad analog is. And you're like, I can't see anything now. And I tell you, the big problem with digital is I really struggle to fly now with analog with interference because I'm so not used to it. I almost freak out now, even with any loss of image like that. I just freak out because it's like, oh, I can't see anything, what's going on? I'm so used to the penetration of digital. It's you're just like, what is going on? Yeah, your brain tunes out the image loss after analog. Yeah, you just... That's how I feel when DJ Caddx drop a frame. Yes, Morton, you are 100% correct. Yes, I can't comment on that anymore. But it is crazy just how analog goes. I couldn't go back. Honest, I couldn't go back. No way. I can fly it around a field, but just, I'm spoilt now. Right, couple of questions before. Ian, something confuses me. Do I understand it? How is it possible for analog to have a latency lower than 17 milliseconds when it's only 60 frames a second? It can't. It will always be 17 milliseconds, roughly. As you rightly say, a full frame will take 16.7 milliseconds. But remember, that is a full frame. How analog actually gets less is you're measuring, if you're measuring first pixel to first pixel, analog can absolutely be less. However, a full frame on analog at 60 frames a second will always be 16.7 milliseconds at best. If analog has latency of 17 milliseconds, wouldn't that make 04 race mode faster, 100 frames a second? Race mode is not 14 milliseconds. The only 14 millisecond system out there is HD0 in the Nano 90 mode. DJI race mode is 18 to 20 milliseconds. So it should be comparable. However, the issue is the difference to how the frame is delivered and the variability of it. HD0 in the Nano 90 mode is lower latency to a full frame than any analog system out there. It's insane. DJI is 20, but remember, DJI is both variable and the frame delivery is not the same as well. It's definitely better on the Goggles 2 and 3 by far. Goggles V2s is horrific. There is no reason you couldn't race with DJI, but it would be highly variable. And that's the problem. Yes, the HD090 is amazing. I was flying it today. 540p. It is phenomenally low latency. That was one of the flights I queued up first of all. I have a problem with my Nano 90 build. This is the So just to give you an idea, let's just do a quick test with you guys, okay? So just a quick thing. So this is analog. this is analog, so just keep an eye on the field. This is normal analog, 540p, everything normal, okay? So just to give it, let's just have a quick look at the grass. You know what the grass looks like. I'm just flying over the trees. This is analog, so we're talking 1500 TVL, whatever analog is at this point. Ignore the breakup there. So this is what analog looks like. The grass, the trees, all of this, look. So that's good old analog. Happy days. You know, if we come up to the trees, you can't see anything because it breaks up. But that's the kind of detail you're getting from analog. You know, if you look there, there we go. Let's now this is the Nano 90 in 90 mode. Now I've got a vibration on this quad and I can't figure it out. I need to figure it out because it's doing my head in. This is HD0 Nano 90. It's comparable resolution. It's a little soft at times, I'll be honest. Even HD0 struggled there a bit. I had to bail on that one because I lost it. You do miss the penetration of DJI. Moist bush again. But look, there is... I would definitely say there is more detail in the Nano 90. But this is 540p, so in theory, it's the same resolution. I've got a horrible vibration on this quad, and it's almost like there's a broken arm, but there isn't. I'm going to rebuild it. I'm going to swap the props and rebuild it. But I was looking at how the analog looked compared to the HD0. And the reason I found like this, I'm actually looking at the grass as I'm flying. I punched then to see what the bloody vibration was doing, because it was doing my head in. In a minute, I push it and you'll see the vibration. But yeah, it's the Nano 90. What's the latency difference? The Nano 90 feels more locked in than anything I've ever flown, even analog wise. The Nano 90 is so locked in, it's crazy. It's just, that bush is radioactive, I agree. Have I seen the latest OMP Hobby ZMM Vision 2 fixed wing drone? No, I haven't. I'll have to have a look. Someone's asked a question. Yeah, radioactive bush. That's definitely... GX12, but you don't like the switch layout. Someone was at, if you choose between a Boxer and a Pocket, I would definitely choose the Boxer. The Boxer is a better radio. I like the Pocket. It's too smaller gimbals for me. I like the Pocket. Yeah, honestly, it is that bush is radioactive. It's never been like that before. Honestly, I don't know what's going on there. Yeah, you've only got 250 milliwatts of the power in the Pocket. You've got a 1 watt of output in the Boxer. Just go for the Boxer. Or wait a few weeks and see what Radio Master are going to release. We don't know. We just don't know. Radio Master have something new coming. We don't know what it is. It's not a hint, it's public. I don't know what it is. Radio Master have publicly said they've got something coming. GX12's a good radio. I still daily fly the Boxer. Because, look, I'm extremely lucky. I have 3 Boxers. I have my original one, which I've modified to hell. I have the Max, which was a gift. And then I have the green one. Now, the green is going to replace my radio because I've now got 2 damage switches that I have managed to break from damaging. I have dropped the Boxer a number of times and I've now broken 2 of the switches. So what I actually intend to do is, when I can be bothered, is to swap over to the green shell Boxer. But I need to swap over my gimbal LEDs because I like my gimbal LEDs. But then there's 50% of me that said, well, if you've got to take it apart to swap over the gimbal LEDs, why don't I just order 2 switches and fix my Boxer? And that's my problem. I really like the GX12. I love the Boxer. I love the size and feel of the Boxer. The Boxer is still the perfect radio for me. The Crush is nice, but I've got to do 2 things. I've got to swap all my models over, and I've still yet to find a way of doing that really easily in Edge TX, even with Companion. I've still never been able to transfer everything over between 2 radios. I don't know if it's me. It's a fucking nightmare every time. I like the GX12. I absolutely like the GX12. I prefer the size and feel of the Boxer for me. Clone the SD card. Yeah. I could swap the freaking SD card. I just want to go onto a piece of software that says, clone this radio onto that radio. Yeah, if your hands are size, the Boxer fits me perfectly. It genuinely does fit me perfectly. I love the radio. I just love the radio. T15's not a bad radio. Similar sizing. T15's a bit more like the Mambo. But look, they're all good radios. They're all good radios. They're just, it's now down to what your personal preference is. That's really what it comes down to. But my Boxer has just been such a good friend to me, but I keep breaking switches on it now. So I probably just need to order 2 switches from Radio Master. Or I'll nick the switches off the Crush, but I don't want to do that to the Crush. I don't want to part out the Crush. That's too good for that. Does the Boxer overheat on 1 watt? No, it's fan cooled. Right, guys, that's it for tonight. We're going to wrap it up. I want to say a big thank you to everyone spending time with me tonight. I wish there was better answers than there has been, but there really isn't. It's all bad. Let's hope it gets better next week. Next week, we will be live streaming on Sunday night, same time, same place. There will be something else to talk about by then, I suspect. You never know, DJI might have some stock. Look after yourselves, stay safe. Trying to find the button in preparation to end the stream gracefully. And I will see you soon.